The partnership between Horizon Church and our school has been very unusual in such a good way. The main thing that you as a church have done for us is provide us opportunities to give our families and our teachers some say. So for example, what I mean is you come to school and you say, what do you need? Instead of this is what we'd like to do. And you really listen and you find out what the needs of our community are, what the needs of our teachers are, and then you meet those needs without even blinking. Also, going above and beyond, once we share with you that we might have a need for something like field trips, all of a sudden we've got field trip support coming in, plus we're doing things for teachers, plus we're doing things from individual kids. And so the support stems from some small little ask, and it ends up blossoming into this such love and joy and brightness that you bring into our school. Our students are some of the most talented, intelligent students I've ever worked with. They bring such a gift to the school each and every day. But our community is faced with many barriers that I myself personally am not faced with, and I bet many of you are not faced with. And so for our students, this partnership allows us to be able to provide space for students to grow in their gifts and talents without worrying about the barriers that are being faced by them. It really does level the playing field so that when our students walk through the door, they don't feel like any other student walking through the door. They know that their basic needs are met. They know that they're coming to a place filled with love. And they know that if there is a need, that the school's going to be able to provide them that need. But what we as a school know is that we're able to provide them support for their need because you as a church are providing us with the opportunities, the funding, the fundraising to be able to support that need. So in a lot of schools that we're probably familiar with, we are very accustomed to having a PTA. Right? And so our PTA looks a certain way in most of the schools we're accustomed. They come into the school, they are able to provide funding for the classrooms, they're able to provide funding for fundraisers, they might sponsor events through their businesses. Our PTA works a little different. Because we do serve a marginalized community and students in poverty, our PTA is support based on voice and what we can do best in practice. But our PTA is not able to provide funding for things like events or for teacher appreciation or for welcome back events for teachers. And so through the church, we've been able to fulfill that need that a typical PTA meets through the gifts and the donations and the volunteering that your community has done for our community, so our teachers still feel and are able to be honored for the work that they're doing each and every day. When I first got to Booker T. Washington 4 years ago, the school was labeled an F by the state. And the last 2 years, we're really proud to say that we've had consecutive C school grades. Now, that's exciting. There's a whole philosophical debate on whether we believe that test is a true representation of what kids do. That's a whole nother conversation for another day. But the dreams that we imagined for our children are pretty simple. We don't want our kids to feel different from any other kids in Tampa. We don't want our kids to feel less than. We don't want our kids to feel on the bottom of a hierarchy. We want our kids to feel pride that they get to say, I come to Booker T. Washington Elementary. We want them to walk into this building. We want them to see themselves in the curriculum. We want them to know the community loves them and supports them. We want them to know they're enough. And we really feel like those dreams have been realized. It takes a lot of hard work to do that, and we couldn't have done it without your support as a church. There's no way we can do it here on our own. It's just too much work. And so we appreciate everything you've done to pour in, to show love to our teachers, to our staff, to our families. And we really couldn't have done all of that and really created an atmosphere where the students are enough and that they're loved without your help. My dream for the future is that we are a building that serves students from poverty, that is defying the odds of what success looks like. That not only are we meeting the pretty typical criteria of success, that we're not enough school, that our kids can perform on a test, but that we're showing the world that our students who are in situations that none of us probably have found ourselves in, and in a world where our students don't see themselves a lot on TV or in movies or in books, that we're showing that when you truly make an effort to pour into kids, not in a way to save them or in a way to change them, but in a way to honor them, that magic can happen. And that when you walk into classrooms and when you pull in community, that there's another level of trust and there's another level of love that happens that sets our kids up so that they know the world is ready for them and that they're able to fulfill dreams that they have in the future as well. So one of the things that we really work hard to do is support our children financially. So we all know when we have kids in schools, field trips come up, you write your check, you send in your money, and your kids go on the field trip. It becomes more difficult to do that when we're serving students in marginalized communities or from poverty. It's really hard to ask children to be spending $15, $18 on a field trip when we know that their parents are working 3 jobs to put food on the table and clothes on their children. And we don't want our students to have to feel bad about coming in and saying, I can't afford to go on the trip. We don't want our parents to feel like they're not good enough because they can't afford a field trip. So for the church to be able to support field trips at our school, so we can say this whole grade level gets to go on a field trip for free, or this whole class gets to do this experience, and we can pay for the bus and we can pay for the event. That allows our children and families not to perform their poverty, but to have experiences in a way that isn't taxing on the family, that we're really giving to any other child in Hillsborough County schools. It also gets us to give our kids a chance to broaden their experiences, right? Some of our students have been to some typical places around Tampa, but some of our students have never been to places like the zoo or the museums, let alone maybe the baseball field or an amusement park. And so we get to open up the world a little bit to our kids, and really that's our way of giving them a gift, because they give us a gift every day by showing us what they can do for us here at school. And we want to be able to provide those real world learning opportunities for them as well. I truly, as a principal, don't know what I would do without your community and your church supporting the school. I can't do it alone, and I do truly feel like it is my job to love each and every adult and each and every child here in multiple ways. And I can't do that without the love that you provide for all of us. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for helping me create an environment here that is truly second to none. I couldn't do it without you.